Hi, I'm Brad, one of the developers of Nokkio, a new way to rapidly build real web applications with React. Nokkio provides native solutions for many of the common pain points of building web apps, and in this video I want to give you a quick tour of a Nokkio application to show you some of those highlights. Then in the rest of this series, we'll build this same app from scratch so we can dig into the finer details of working with Nokkio. We'll be looking at this to-do list app. It's simple but uses many of the key features provided by Nokkio. In my terminal, I have the Nokkio dev server running, which allows my browser to open up the app on localhost. I also have the code for this application open in my editor. We'll look through it in a moment. The first feature to highlight is that Nokkio provides native authentication. This is the first time I'm running this application, so I need to register. Nokkio includes form abstractions that make this really easy. Great, now I'm logged in and viewing my own list. I don't have any yet, let's create a few. Now we can navigate to the detail page for a given list and add a few to-dos. We can then mark a to-do as completed. This is all live data backed by a database. It's not just on the client. We can refresh and see the data is still there. Okay, so how does this all work? Let's take a quick tour of some of the code that backs this application. First, we'll open schema.js. One of the key features of Nokkio is its native data abstraction that manages the entire lifecycle of your application data. Schema.js is where you define the shape and relationships of your data. In our case, we have defined objects for users, lists, and to-dos, and have used Nokkio's type system to specify what values to expect for each property. Nokkio also supports relationships. By defining how the different objects relate to one another, Nokkio will provide tooling to make fetching and managing those relationships simple. Finally, Nokkio's authentication system is just an extension of the data abstraction. Pick which model you want to use as the authentication model, and Nokkio does the rest. The schema function returns any of the models we've created. Once you've done this, Nokkio takes over and creates everything you need to start working with your data right away, including setting up a database, creating API endpoints, and plumbing the client-side code needed to access those endpoints. That means we can open up our main page and immediately use the generated list model. Nokkio pages support a getPageData function that defines what data to load for the given route. For this page, we load all the lists for the logged in user. Remember how we set up relationships in schema.js? This is why. Nokkio has generated a findForUser method for us. We just need to supply the user ID. When it comes time to use the data, Nokkio's usePageData hook steps in. From there, you can use this data like you normally would to render the list UI. Finally, Nokkio's data abstraction wouldn't be complete without also helping you quickly add and mutate data. For that, a form abstraction is provided. Simply pass your model to the useForm hook, and it returns a pre-wired form component. And because data is deeply integrated into the framework, as soon as a new item is added, any data on the page that is related will automatically refetch. No need to track this yourself. Once our app is ready, we can deploy it to Nokkio's custom-fit production environment in just a few seconds. I hope you're as excited about this as we are. Building powerful web apps without having to leave your editor can greatly reduce the time from idea to shipping. I hope you'll join me in the next video as we start building this from scratch and going into more detail about how these pieces fit together. See you then.